Hi, I'm Robert Meyer, Certified Law of Attraction Coach. What we're going to go over today is seeking approval and the law of attraction. And I got to tell you that seeking approval and successfully using the law of attraction is a contradiction. It's not possible, and here's why. When you seek other people's approval constantly, you're not your authentic self, or what some call your real self. You got to build up this persona that you think other people will like. So instead of doing what you think's best for yourself, you're doing what other people think's best for you. And you're not going to attract much good that way because it won't even be your life. You'll be living a second-handed existence. You got to live by your own values. You got to decide what your highest values are and live by those. Now, what happens now when you constantly seek approval? Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting somebody's approval. Naturally, if you do a good job on something and somebody approves on it, or you're having a great relationship and your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend approves of what you're doing, that's great. But if you're actively seeking that approval, you're going to have real problems. For instance, seeking approval leads to worry. You might think, gee, I wondered if they liked what I did today. I wonder if my girlfriend liked the way I acted today. Or I wonder if my boss thinks I did a good job. If you're constantly seeking approval, you're going to be worrying about everything under the sun. You know what that means? You're going to be worrying. You're going to be having negative thoughts and attracting negative things. So, as you can see, actively seeking approval is detrimental to your ability to successfully use the law of attraction. Now, there's a good reason because, some people put down selfishness, but you really, if you're going to succeed in life, you got to act from rational self-interest. You can't think, well, I'm going to be this altruistic person that just sacrifices myself. I'm going to get into selflessness. It's not going to work. There's no way, if you're coming from that angle, that you're going to successfully use the law of attraction. You got to selfishly decide what you want in life. What's going to make you happy? What kind of job's going to give you fulfillment? What kind of relationship is going to make you just feel wonderful about life? What about your health? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? You've got to selfishly think these things out. And I mean rational self-interest. I don't mean you run around like some kind of brute or something. That's what everybody thinks selfishness is. By the way, everybody acts in what they believe is their own best interest. Of course, if you're into erroneous thoughts, you might think sacrificing yourself's in your best interest. And there's no way you're ever going to use the law of attraction successfully. Matter of fact, it'll work against you every time. Okay. Now, when you're not acting out of rational self-interest, you have no chance of attracting anything you desire because you're not living by your highest values. Now, it's important to know what your highest values are. As a matter of fact, anytime you should get a piece of paper and write down, what is it I desire? What do I like? Let's say music, for example. Let's say your peers are listening to rap or some other kind of soul music or hip hop or rock and roll or country or whatever, and you just think, well, if I listen to kind of music I like, maybe they won't approve of you. They won't approve of me. Let's say maybe you like big band or oldies or old standards, or you like opera or classical or something different what your peers like, and you're afraid to tell them, yeah, this is what I really like. This is the kind of music I like. And you're afraid they'll disapprove of you, and then you won't be getting anybody's approval. But look at it this way. Let's say you're trying to attract somebody in your life. Wouldn't it be better if you're your authentic self and say, yeah, this is the music I like, and then you attract somebody that likes the same kind of music? Going to make evening a lot easier. Let's say you're having a romantic evening and you like one kind of music and the person hates the music you like. I mean, it's going to be kind of difficult to have a romantic evening that way. How about your job, for instance? Let's say you're on a job and your boss wants you to do all these things you absolutely despise. Now, how are you going to find any happiness that way? I mean, you're going to dread going to work, and then and on top of it, you do all this stuff to seek his approval. That's not going to work. You're just going to be beaten down by the time you get home, and there's no chance you can use the law of attraction for your benefit. Now, the idea in life is, and it's hard for people to accept, you want to be in relationships where you're actually trading value for value. You don't want to get with somebody that just extorts value from you and doesn't give you anything in return. You don't want to be in a love relationship when you do all the giving and you don't get anything back. Sure, it's nice to give to people. I mean, that's helping people's wonderful. But you don't want to be in situations where somebody just takes from you and just abuses you. I mean, there's no possible way you can use the law of attraction to your benefit. For instance, let's say you get up in the morning and you're in a relationship where right away somebody starts criticizing you, or then you think, God, I gotta turn this around and get their approval. But you really don't feel that way. You feel like you really want to be the way you are, and they want you to be some other way. What are you going to do? Well, if you're your authentic self, you're going to be the way you should be, the way you want to be, the way you really are. And if that other person doesn't like it, well, it's best to get into another relationship and get out of that one. Let's say you got all these good job skills and you're working and your boss doesn't appreciate them, or he doesn't even want you to use them. He's trying to get you to do something else. Well, what are you going to do? Fake it and just and then go home miserable from your job? No, you need to get the heck out of there and find a better job. Let's say there's these inn restaurants people are going to, and you realize that you're getting about 2,000 calorie meals when you go there, and you're trying to lose 20 pounds, or you're trying to feel better, and your friends say, how about going out and eat with us tonight? We're going to this real chick, this inn place, and you feel, well, I better go, or they're going to disapprove of me. I need to go. So you go with them, and then you eat food you shouldn't eat. You eat too much, and by the time you go to bed that night, you figure you'll probably gain 5 pounds by the next morning. Well, that's not in your best interest. You just need to tell these people, listen, I'm trying to get healthy right now. I need to eat a certain way, so I'm sorry I can't go with you. If they disapprove of you because of that, then they're not the kind of friends you need. So let's get into seeking approval in the law of attraction, and just right away admit that they're incompatible. You cannot constantly be seeking approval in your life and expect to use the law of attraction successfully. So here's what you want to do. I advise writing down your highest values. What is it you really value in life? Write it down on a piece of paper. What do you really like? What do you really want to get out of life? And when you write it down, don't even be concerned with what anybody else thinks. If you start writing something down and say, no, my mom might disapprove of this. Oh, my spouse is going to not like this. Write it down anyway, because that's what you really want in life. And of course, another thing, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to take rational action. I mean, if you decide, what I like to get some meth and do it. Obviously, that's not rational, but still, write down all your rational values and everything you want to have in life that's really going to benefit you, and don't worry about what anyone thinks. Just do it. Then once you have that, use the power of intention. Wayne Dyer wrote a book called The Power of Intention. I think intention is important. Decide you intend to satisfy these values and desires. Then the next thing is you want to do affirmations, of course. You want to tell yourself you have this. Let's say you want to listen to a certain kind of music. Today I start listening to my favorite music. Today I start watching my favorite shows. Today I start living with purpose. I decide what I think has purpose, and that's what I'm going to do. Then meditate on them, or just do relaxation sessions and see yourself doing it. See yourself taking the action and living the way you want to live. And also have meditations or relaxation exercises where you see yourself not seeking other people's approval just to get along. And actually see yourself actually saying no. No has a certain power to it. Somebody asks you to do something you don't want to do, say, no, I really don't want to do that. And live life your way. And then, of course, take action on what you desire. And maybe it's going to be hard to do that right away, but take little steps each day. Do something each day that shows you who you really are. Live by your authentic self, your real self. Okay, that's all for now. This is Robert Meyer. a certified law of attraction coach. Until next time, thanks.